What have you been up to there, sir?
So I have a few things. I have been going through more of the DC animateds and
Very nice.
just doing some back reading on some ones that I watched previously. Warworld was a better rewatch the second time than the first time. I kind of understood more what the story was supposed to be as opposed to what I thought it was going to be coming in. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed that again. I'm almost done with the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Oh, nice.
So close. And it is becoming everything I wanted the original Guardians movies to be.
Oh, I got you.
Where it is not just referential to the comics, but it builds on a lot of things that you wouldn't think you would find. Like the amount of mentions of Quasar in this game, I was like, really, Quasar? We're gonna drop Wendell, drop his name. He's here somewhere. They always talk about Richard Rider, my boy Dick. Who is Nova Prime, Supernova, technically. There is a Nova Prime. But it's just so cool seeing what they did. At one point, you're on a ship, and a Nova ship, and you can rescue a prisoner.
Okay.
And I did it, and I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh, maybe that's Jack Flag. And then I'm going through later on, they have like this big collection. You're going through the Nova's notes on every known criminal that is like big name, and there's some really huge callbacks on that list, including Jack Flag and Moondragon, who were both characters that I wanted to see, and Quasar, and just like it was just really cool to be going through that and be like, oh shit, there's this, and oh shit, there's this, and then they do it again because when you go to Nowhere, you can go into the collector's collection, his gallery. And the callbacks that they have in the gallery are so good. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember all of them offhand. But it was just every single one you're going down, you're like, oh. So it's like, it starts out Cosmic Cube, not the Tesseract, the Cosmic Cube. So you know right off the bat, okay, all right, we're serious here. The Ultimate Nullifier, fucking the Ultimate Nullifier, that's fucking great. Heimdall's sword.
Nice.
Oh, it's good. They have a copy of the Superhuman Registration Act from another universe.
Oh,
and you're just like,
nice.
this is so fucking dope. This is so
awesome.
cool. They have the Cagliostro's book from Doctor Strange. They have Kang's chair. They have the Eyes of the Watcher, which have begun wars before. They have the Mandarin's 10 Rings. They have Firelord's Cosmic Staff, Snowbird's Tiara. They have several references to Thor Frog.
Oh, nice.
Like, they have so many things. They have Mr. Hyde's formula. Not like a Hulk formula.
Yeah.
Mr. Hyde. Fucking Mr. Hyde.
That's amazing.
And it was just the kind of thing that made me so happy. The crowning piece of the whole collection is Stan Lee's glasses.
Oh, nice.
But they don't say that it's Stan Lee's glasses. It's a cosmic wanderer. Some god who goes around and creates great stories where he goes.
That's
like,
awesome.
Oh, okay, this is cool. But it's just so dope. It's such a great game. I'm still a little disappointed that you can only play as Peter. But like, fine. As you go through the game and you unlock the other characters' abilities and whatnot, it's like, okay, all right, this is fine enough. Mantis plays a really cool role in the story.
I mean, she's not stupid.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding? She's so good. She can see through all these different timelines. So she's trying to guide you to things, but she's not exactly sure what's going on.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so she's like, I think this is the part where you make a good speech. Or I think we'll be safe as long as this doesn't happen. And then of course that is what happens. But it's so fun. She's referred to as the Celestial Madonna. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense because she's incredible in this game.
Yeah.
And she can kick ass. Like serious ass. And it's like, where was this, Marvel? Why did you turn her into this little Asian handmaiden? It makes me so mad.
Yeah.
So mad. And meanwhile, you have Drax, and Drax is like one of the main characters of the game because the loss of his family is a huge part of the story. At one point, you have to go into Drax's subconscious to help him deal with trauma, and he sees his family and all this other stuff, and from there on he's just like super philosophical and talking about religion and the religion of his planet and his people, and it's just like, where the fuck was this? And he still doesn't get sarcasm or metaphor, so you can still do it, you can still have the joke, but like, where's the substance? Where's the character? He's here. This is Drax. This is the Drax I know. Adam Warlock is the big reveal of the game, is that you're trying to stop the Magus. So Adam Warlock at some point was separated from the Magus, which if anybody doesn't know, Magus and Adam Warlock are kind of two sides of the same coin. It's like the dark part of Adam Warlock that comes out. Not the Will Poulter Adam Warlock, not that one.
He's not the
that
perfect
one.
being.
Not that one.
No?
An actual Adam Warlock, a really good Adam Warlock, who for some reason speaks in alliteration. So every sentence is just like one letter over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, this is interesting. This is fascinating. The writing isn't always amazing. I'll agree to that. But for the most part, it's really good and very enjoyable. They get a little too chummy towards the end of the game to this point where they're like talking about how much they love each other. I'm like, okay, everybody, I know it's been a long ride and we've been through a lot. This feels weird. This feels forced. This feels like Disney writing of like, man, I love you guys. I'd do anything for you. Okay, all right. I'm not saying we need more infighting, but like it feels very chummy. Yeah, extremely chummy. But I'm really enjoying it as a game. I can't wait to see how it ends, and I'm just so impressed that anytime you do deep cuts, because like you were saying with Ethan reading the Dungeons and Dragons books, that's what nerd culture is.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're going to get to it with Crisis, and we're going to get to it with Acolyte. Nerd culture is being able to see something, be like, oh shit, oh fuck. I was rewatching Justice Society of America World War II.
Oh, I love that fucking movie.
And Psycho Pirate comes up, and they don't, but it was one of the many, many, many things in that movie that didn't have an end. It didn't have a plug to go into anything. It was just kind of left hanging. And so you got to the end of the movie and we're like, what about this guy? And the kid that had the costume that he gave to Superman? What's going on with all this? We'll get there. But they do give you the answer in the moment because the guy refers to himself as a pirate. And you just think, oh, Aquaman, pirates, we've heard this story before. Well, yes, but also something more to that. That's what I love about nerd stuff, is being able to go in and see Hawk and Dove in the background and see the various metal men and like all these other references. These are things that you don't see when Marvel does their big budget thing, and if you do, they're Ty Burrell playing Doc Samson, and you're like, so that's all we're gonna get from Doc Samson. All right, cool. At least I know now not to get my hopes up that this is gonna be something cool. I think the DC animated universe has quietly superseded every other superhero universe for me, as far as having just this incredible, I've never seen anything like it, this arc, this almost yarn ball of a story that you have to unwind. And
they get their characters right.
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
Yeah. There's some moments I was still angry when I was rewatching Warworld and Jonah Hex showed up, and I was like, this is not Jonah Hex. Yeah. I don't know Jonah Hex like super well, but I know him well enough to know that this is not Jonah Hex. And they kind of give you an explanation of like, well, he's an alternate version from a different blah, 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 blah. He's a clone of a clone of a clone of a different reality. Okay, all right, I guess I'll take it. But like when that happens and it's fucking Superman, or my favorite from the DC animated universe, the new one, and they've tried to recant this since they wrote this line. I think they wrote it on purpose, and that ever since then they've decided like, this is the thing that we're building the whole time. And I'm just like, I think you could have done this without the line. When Batman is talking to Alfred and he says, I didn't think I'd have to be a great detective in this job. What the?
That was dumb.
What the fuck What the fuck are you talking? Hang on.
You're the world's greatest fucking detective.
Throw the brakes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so when it's wrong, it immediately throws off fucking everything. Guy Gardner in that Superman movie that we saw pictures of.
Oh my god.
Ugh, when it's wrong, it's wrong. And when it's right, it's so good, and it makes you feel so like part of the club.
Yeah.
We're going to get to John Constantine and his role in all of this.
Well, and like going off of what you're saying, touching back to Dungeons and Dragons, when they were coming up in the arena at the end and the animated characters came, I had to show my son a picture. I'm like, this is a deep cut, and
Yeah.
it's like, holy shit! So I can't wait to show him that cartoon now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking awesome.
But like that's what I love is when you get the deep cuts and you get it right.
Yes.
You know, it's the minor things. It's having one of my complaints is that Robin uses a bow staff instead of two batons because it's Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson doesn't use like he does, but there's another Robin that actually uses a bow staff, and Dick Grayson does like the stick thing. Like that's his whole thing is sticks. So it's like when I see something, I'm like, I wish you hadn't done that. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm willing to give that to you when you've earned it. Unfortunately, we see a lot of things that don't earn it and then come to me and say, aren't I cool? And I'm like, no, what do you know?
Yeah.
I did want to talk really quick before we jump into one of those things. Did you see the Beetlejuice trailer?
Yes.
I am curious. I'm not, I think it'll be good, but I'm still reserved. I'm not here saying this is 100% going to be amazing.
I think it's going to be good because I don't think Burton and Keaton will let it be bad. The only thing I'm nervous about is anytime you take a cult classic low budget movie and give it a budget, it never ends well.
Yeah.
So I'm a little nervous about that, but it does look like, honestly, my only like curiosity was Justin Theroux, but like in this trailer you see a little bit more.
Yeah.
And he seems like he could be a good, like, goofy...
He's going to be instead of being the straight man, he's going to be like the wobbly man.
Exactly. He's going to be the Otho, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just seeing Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice
I know.
is fucking awesome.
See, that's the thing is that at the end of it, I like the story that they're pitching.
Yeah.
The story that they're
really
pitching,
good
I'm like,
story.
okay, all right, you have my attention. We're going to see if it holds the whole movie long or if this is one of those, like, another one to throw them on the pile. But, like, I'm optimistic about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I love everyone in it. I did really enjoy Wednesday season 1, Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed her on SNL.
She's a very talented actress.
Oh, very talented.
Yeah.
And, like, she looks like Winona Ryder's daughter
Yeah.
from that movie. So it's like...
Well, she is so of that Tim Burton mold.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember, was it Dark Shadows that had Chloe Grace Moretz in it? And I was like, you don't quite fit. It's not quite right. And it's not that you're blonde. It's just, I can't put my finger on it, but you don't fit this.
Yeah.
And Jenna Ortega fits the Burtonism so well.
I think this movie will do well. Briefly touching on a trailer, the last trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine came out.
I have not watched it because
I watched it.
We are in the zone of, I've seen enough, I don't need to be spoiled.
I watched it. I'll tell you right now, if this movie doesn't make $2 billion, I'll be shocked.
I know that they are hinting at Lady Deadpool, who is almost certainly Blake Lively.
Which is, 1,000% believe that. But just watching that final trailer had enough different things, and it has some of those tongue-in-cheek Al Deadpool moments that I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait.
I am one of the things that's keeping me, again, this is a vicious cycle. I haven't watched any of the trailers since trailer 2.
Oh, okay.
And because like Marvel does this thing where they're like, if you're not going to see our movie, we're going to put as much of it in the zeitgeist as possible. So you still have seen enough of the movie to know what people are talking about. So you're basically watching the movie just by watching the trailer. And I have been trying to avoid that because I want to give this a good chance. But at the same time, there are things that I've seen in terms of plot on the internet that I'm like, that doesn't sound like it's going to work. That doesn't sound like it's going to work. What do you mean Vanessa got remarried?
Is it the story seems so all over the place that you really don't know what the fuck's going to happen in this movie. It just shows some cool fucking shit. And you're like, oh my God.
So I'm curious. I'm still not, I'm below optimistic. I don't think it's going to be bad. I just don't know how Marvel's not going to screw this one up. I think that's the best way for me to put it.
Well, once again, the only thing I will say is he has yet to shake my faith, but I have faith in Ryan Reynolds. And in some of these interviews, he's like, I truly can't believe some of the shit they let us do.
I hope that's the case. Because
I really hope that's the case.
I've said this before. I'll say it again. You have faith in Ryan Reynolds. I have faith in Kevin Feige.
Let's hope that Kevin Feige.
Yeah, let's hope that he said, maybe I should get out of the way.
After all the Acolyte shit, they need this.
Oh, yeah. Well, while we're talking about some nonsense bullshit before we get into the Acolyte, first off, the MCU heads can't decide if the Russos are coming back or not. Yes. They're both in talks and signed on.
Are you going to talk about that thing I sent you?
We're also going to talk about that. That's also some interesting news that RDJ might be coming back as Doctor Doom.
If that is legit, that is the dumbest fucking thing they've ever done.
It's very stupid.
Literally the dumbest thing they've ever fucking done.
It should not be done.
No.
But there's just so many things about the MCU right now that I see that people are like, first off, so many apologists for the last few years, where it's like, Guardians 3 was good. Was it?
No, it was not fucking
was
good.
Was it actually?
That movie was dog shit.
When you stop and think about it, was it actually good? No. Or do you just really want it to be good? Oh, Loki season 2 was so good. I don't believe you. No. I don't think that's true.
I watched it, and it's not good, mainly because you're watching a abuser of women in the show, and you're like, I hate him.
Yeah,
and I can't watch this show and hate him as a villain in the show because I hate him as a villain in fucking real life.
Yeah,
and like the Kia Kwan, short round stuff, he's cool in it. It was enjoyable, but like Loki being selfless and giving up his life to keep the multiverse together, and it's like, no, you would not fucking do that.
It's not Loki.
That's not Loki at all.
We've moved away from the core character. We've gotten to Homer Simpson era season 16.
Yeah.
Where he is so far removed from Homer Simpson season 3 even. Where it's like a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this character has become what the fans want him to be and not what he was originally in any capacity.
They wanted him to be the good guy.
They wanted him to be a good guy because they really like Tom Hiddleston playing the role. Even though I feel like that's antithetical because the reason you like Tom Hiddleston in the role is because he's a villain.
Yeah.
So why making him a good guy doesn't mean that he has more things to do. I'm confused by this whole argument, frankly. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of apologists online for the MCU, and I just want to throw it out there. They haven't earned that apology in any way.
No.
Don't give it to them. Don't give them credit for what isn't due. I still say Moon Knight was the last really good thing, and even that, the last episode was a fiasco.
Landing, yeah.
And it went back on its canon, which is always a bad proposition to do.
They got to just stop doing that with every one of these properties they have.
Speaking of not working out when you go back on canon, Halo 2 is dead.
Oh, yeah, Halo's
dead.
Halo's
dead in the ground.
2 seasons.
Done.
Thankfully.
It's dead in the ground. We'll get on to Star Wars and just say, but I'm so excited that we picked the right horse on this one, that we were like, we watched 5 episodes or something. We were like, we're done. We're not doing this.
Well, this show, Halo, was a perfect setup for shows like The Acolyte, where it's like, this is not what these characters do.
No!
There is fucking years and years and years of canon and lore, and you're completely going back on all of it.
You sold the fans a bill of goods.
Yes.
And they got all excited and jazzed that you were going to do this, and then the first thing you do is say, fuck you and your canon, we're doing whatever we want. What is this, the 90s?
It's
what the hell is happening?
It's so bad.